Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
what's the meaning of the black barrier? The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your plate alive.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
We are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to True FM 96.1.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
what's the meaning of the black barrier? The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your plate alive.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
We are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Welcome to News Desk for the 5 minutes of news and current affairs department of the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. Today is Wednesday, September 11, 2024. My name is Johnson Bantoma anchoring. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai arrives to a mammoth crowd of supporters at the Rabots International Airport after attending the Forum on Africa-China Cooperation in Beijing, China, to promote efficiency and minimize corruption in government procurement. Public Procurement and Concession Commission announces transition from paper-based to electronic procurement system. Liberians due to a maximum security prison in the United Arab Emirates appeal to the government of Liberia to intervene into what they called their unlawful arrest and detention and away from Liberia medical staff on the front line of the battle against mpox in the Democratic Republic of Congo underscored the separate need for vaccines to curb new infections. This plus the news bulletin and the actual voices of the newsmakers are all packaged onto this edition of the program News Desk. We'll take a break to be right back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM. On Ria TV, into Truth FM 96.1.
News broadcast is being powered by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. At this point, we join Marka Davis with the news bulletin. Good evening.
Good evening, Johnson. Good evening to our President Joseph Boakai and his the Forum on China Africa Cooperation in Beijing, China. The president arrived late Wednesday evening at the Rabat International Airport. According to the protocol, the president will address the press at the Effort Baptist Church this evening in Painesville. A Liberian based in the United Arab Emirates is appealing to the government of Liberia to have them released from a major jail in the UAE. According to Say Gamen Pekau, they were arrested and jailed by the authorities in the UAE without giving any reasons, adding there are over 100 Africans, including 6 Liberians. Speaking Wednesday on State of the Nation here on Triple FM, Pekau said upon their arrest, their cell phones and other relevant documents were seized, which, he said, made it difficult to communicate with their families back home. He also complained about maltreatment from the UAE authorities for the past 7 months of their stay at the Algerman Central Prison. He is therefore calling on the Liberian government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to negotiate with their UAE counterpart to have them released. The officer in charge of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency has alarmed over what he calls the historical lack of support to the agency. Christopher Peters said the LDA has suffered lack of logistical and financial supports over the decades, and that is affecting the capacity of the agency to fight drugs and substance abuse in the country. Peters noted that the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency has been historically abandoned by central government, and there is a need to change if the government must succeed in the efforts to rid Liberia of the drug crisis. Speaking Wednesday on the Truth Breakfast show here on Truth FM, Christopher Peters said the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency needs between 7 to 10 million United States dollars to function properly. The LDA officer in charge noted that institutions like the Drug Enforcement Agency should not be solely reliant on donors, but government must take full responsibility of funding its core operations. In an effort to promote efficiency, accountability, and transparency in government procurement, the Public Procurement and Concession Commission has announced the transition from paper-based to electronic procurement system. Speaking Wednesday, the Monrovia Communications Director Nathan Bangu disclosed that with this change in the procurement process, it will help government to save money. According to him, when this electronic procurement is in place, the level of corruption in the sector will be minimized. Commenting on the strategy, the executive director of the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, Borges Johnson, explained that the PPCC is providing continuous training to vendors and the business community at large about the new electronic procurement process. As part of its strategy, the PPCC executive director revealed that procurement officers in the various government ministries and agencies will adequately be trained and ensure that they deploy the new innovation. The chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council has threatened unspecified actions against doctors and nurses operating in Liberia without proper medical documents. Dr. Benetta Collins Andrews said the Liberia Medical and Dental Council is ready to take actions against any individual that will be found in such act. She said they, as leaders, will not allow individuals who are without proper documents to tarnish the reputation of the entity and the health sector at large. Dr. Andrews also named adequate funding capacity building, insufficient staff, limited logistics, among others, are some of the challenges facing the council. According to her, the Medical and Dental Council was established to set procedures, guidelines, and standards for the accreditation of medical services and medical training institutions across Liberia. Chief Justice Sianayo has shut down the Clay Ashland Magisterial Court with immediate effect. The Chief Justice's decision, according to RCR judicial correspondent, was reported due to lack of reports on cases from the court for its quarterly period. The closure of the court witnessed the few clerical staff being transferred to other magisterial courts. Our judicial correspondent revealed that a stipendiary magistrate, Councillor Augustine Toba, was transferred to the Arlington Magisterial Court, while the clerk went to West Point and the other staff were sent to the Breville Magisterial Court. Still at the court, the presiding justice in Chimbra, the Supreme Court, has declined to issue the alternative writ of mandamus as prayed for prosecuting lawyers in the $33 million United States criminal case at the 16th Judicial Circuit Court in Bapolo County. The case is between the government of Liberia and the Chinese national Gao Fang, known as the real minister, on allegation of economic sabotage, criminal conspiracy, and tax evasion. Associate Justice Yamin Bessi's action, according to RCR judicial correspondent, was as a result of an understanding between the party lawyers, where documents in question which led to the petition for mandamus was ordered submitted to the petitioners. RCR judicial correspondent said Justice West's decision mean the stay order that was briefly placed on the matter, the Chinese national criminal case, will be lifted in a couple of days for the resumption of the matter at the 16th Judicial Circuit Court in Bapolo County as provided by law. Prior to state lawyers' petition for mandamus, lawyers representing the Chinese national have filed a motion before the court for a change in venue as provided by Chapter 5, Section 5.7 of the Criminal Procedure Law of Liberia. The Liberia National Red Cross Society has commenced a two-day Liberia Unified Planning Workshop in Monrovia under the theme Strengthening Partnerships, Aligning Priorities, a Unified Approach for Sustainable Impact. The workshop brings together key partners and stakeholders, including the Swedish Embassy, National Disaster Management Agency, Environmental Protection Agency, the Ministry of Health, and the International Organization on Migration, among others. The aim is to collaborate on aligning priorities in the humanitarian context while ensuring sustainable solutions that meet the needs of communities in line with global Red Cross and Red Crescent strategies. During the opening section, Red Cross Secretary General Gregory Blamo emphasized the significance of the workshop, stating it marks a pivotal movement as they gather to chart a unified course for 2025 and beyond, aligning efforts with both the national's priorities and the broader strategies of the global Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. Blamo reiterated that the event is not only about planning, but also about strengthening partnerships, harmonizing approaches, and enhancing the effectiveness of the Liberia National Red Cross Society's response to the challenges faced by vulnerable communities in the country. The Liberia National Commission on Arms has reportedly begun the inspection of storage and security for explosives imported and produced in the country. The inspection, according to the Commission, is intended to offer mining and other commercial purposes. The Commission's chairman, James Fromoyan, said as part of the inspection, a team from the Commission will visit and inspect the storage and security facilities for explosives used by China Union. Fromoyan made the disclosure during an interview shortly after his return from a three-day conference organized by the United Nations Regional Center for Peace and Disarmament in Africa held in Lomé, Togo. According to the chairman of the National Commission on Arms, the meeting, which brought together representatives from Central and West Africa, discussed the possibility of tracking the proliferation of arms from manufacturers to non-state actors such as terrorists in the Sahel Boko Haram, and the Islamic State militants. In order to reduce pre-trial detention in Monterrey County, the Liberian National Bar Association has won a one-year grant from the United Nations Development Program. The one-year project, in the tune of about 120,000 United States dollars, marks the second grant won by the Liberian National Bar Association from the UNDP. According to the Bar Secretary General, Councillor Bonavama, the LMBA, as an integrity institution, remains committed to its core values and functions. According to him, the grant also comes as a result of their involvement and work done during the 2023 elections. Councillor Obama also hailed USAID for strengthening the financial management system at the Liberian National Bar Association. In another development, the LMPA Secretary General has called on the House of Representatives to turn over the Deputy Chief Clerk, who was accused of altering the national budget. Councillor Varman said there is a need for the Deputy Chief Clerk to be investigated to explain reasons behind the alleged alteration of the budget. He said there is also a need for the Ministry of Justice to take immediate action to ensure those involved can account for their actions. According to the National Bar Association Secretary General, the bar remains committed to supporting the fight against corruption and upholding the rule of law in the country. Councillor Bonavama also encouraged President Joseph Boakai to remain vigilant in the fight against corruption, pledging the bar's support to the president's quest to minimize corruption in public service. He made a statement on Tuesday in Monrovia. The Ministry of National Defense has embarked on a two-day technical capacity building workshop in the country. The workshop is currently ongoing at the Barclay Training Center under the theme Strengthening Defense Governance and Reform Process for Growth and Sustainability. The objective of the training, according to the ministry, is to enhance the technical capacity of personnel of the ministry and the armed forces of Liberia. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Defense Minister retired General Geraldine George said the reform process is being employed at the ministry to enable quick response to security issues. She said the process will also ensure that the armed forces is equipped and well trained in line with its code values. The Liberia Civil Aviation Authority says it is advancing efforts to position Liberia as a key hub for aviation in West Africa. LCAA, in a press release, disclosed that with Ethiopian Airlines set to begin operations beginning November of this year, discussions are underway with Air Sierra Leone Limited to enhance travel and trade links across the sub-region. According to the LCAA, Ethiopian Airlines, Africa's largest carrier, will offer 3 weekly flights connecting Addis Ababa, Monrovia, and Conakry. The partnership promises to provide Liberians with reliable and efficient transportation options while significantly boosting the country's connectivity to global markets, according to the Liberia Aviation Authority. According to the Director General Julius Dennis, this move will also stimulate economic growth and open new opportunities for Liberia. He stressed that the arrival of Ethiopian Airlines will not only expand Liberia's access to international markets, but also improve travel options for citizens. He mentioned that Air Sierra Leone Limited has expressed interest in launching services in Liberia, with ongoing discussions focused on ensuring compliance with Liberia's aviation regulations. The LCAA boss noted that the proposed route between Liberia and Sierra Leone is expected to strengthen regional commerce, trade, and tourism, key elements of President Joseph Boakai's arrest agenda. In its continuous commitment to youth development, APM Terminus Liberia has renewed its sponsorship for the YMCA annual Children Vacation Sports Program. This partnership, which began with the company's support of the program's last 2 editions, has grown in scope each year, allowing more children to benefit from the wide range of activities. The program, according to an APM Terminal release, targets children aged 6 to 18 and provides participants with the opportunity to engage in various activities such as computer literacy, cultural exhibition, arts and craft, basketball, and leadership training. This year, APM Terminal said it has taken more inclusive approach by incorporating the dependents of its employees and beneficiaries of its scholarship program into the initiative. Ms. Natasha Akapo, the corporate social responsibility chairperson at APM Terminals, is quoted as saying the company is proud to continue supporting the program and to further integrate their internal and external initiatives, fostering an environment of growth, learning, and capacity building for the next generation. She said by expanding its sponsorship and aligning it with employee engagement initiatives, APM Terminals Liberia is playing a vital role in equipping young people with the skills and experiences necessary for future success. The YMCA program aims or remains a beacon of opportunity, providing recreational and educational activities while empowering children with life skills that will serve them well into adulthood. And off the home front now, medical staff on the front line of the battle against mpox in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have told the BBC they are desperate for vaccines to arrive so they can stem the rate of new infections. At a treatment center in South Kivu province that the BBC visited in the epicenter of the outbreak, they say more patients are arriving every day, especially babies, and there is a shortage of essential equipment. Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is a highly contagious disease and has killed at least 635 people in DR Congo this year, even though 200,000 vaccines donated by the European Commission were flown into the capital, Kinshasa, last week. They are yet to be transported across this vast country, and it could be several weeks before they reach South Kivu, according to the medical staff.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV.
Into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier? The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your plate.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary of 12. My name is Hansen the Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
President Joseph Boakai arrives to a mammoth crowd of supporters at the Rabat International Airport after attending the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in Beijing, China. Let's bring you our first development on the program. A Liberian based in the United Arab Emirates is appealing to the government of Liberia to have them released from the major jail in the UAE. According to C. Pekau, they were arrested and jailed by the authorities in the UAE without giving any reason, adding that there are over 100 Africans, including 6 Liberians.
we have more than 37 ladies. Some were pregnant outside before coming to the prison here. Or more than 37 ladies. So have even been in the prison here in Ajima Central Prison, United Arab Emirates. So 2 weeks ago, those ladies were so very tired with the situation. They tried really a hungry strike. They said they never wanted it, that they were taken to them. What they are giving us, they call food is not, it's a trap. To be very frank, it's a trap. But they call, those ladies there, they were without food for like 2-3 days. So the friends they tried it, they said they never needed it. And people really, they are holding one, they brutalize the lady, they beat on them unmercifully. And some said the lady, they beat those ladies, they beat on every one of them. Some were bleeding, some even fainted. When some of them fainted, they went about coming to chain some of them to take them in the room. They chained some of them, took them to the courtroom. What do that mean? So what women, when they put us, they are not willing to put us out. And they are not giving us any information. They are not giving us any clue. We are just here. Whenever we go to the captain, you will tell us that we don't have kids in the system. We don't have kids in the system. Why is it that you are keeping no human rights in the UAE to come and visit us? There's no human rights. Since they arrested us, we don't know what's going on with the African embassies outside the prison in the UAE. Maybe they gave them false allegations concerning us. Of all the African countries embassies that are represented in the UAE, none of them has been given. Then from West Africa, we have Liberia, we have Ghana, we have Sierra Leone. We have Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia from West Africa. We have Liberians in the prison here as I speak. We have 6 Liberians in the prison here that were all arrested on the same day go to visit us. From East Africa,
Segao is a Liberian based in the United Arab Emirates. They're speaking via mobile phone from the UAE. In an effort to promote efficiency, accountability, and transparency in government procurement, the Public Procurement and Concession Commission has announced its transition from paper-based to electronic procurement system. Speaking Wednesday in Monrovia, the communications director, Nathan Beku, disclosed that with this change in the procurement process will help government to save money. According to him, with this electronic procurement in place, the level of corruption in the sector will be minimized.
By info, we are transitioning from paper-based to electronic procurement. There is a huge success for the government area and in fact in doing business in this country. So we're here to announce or to make it known, publicize that system. Because if you look at what procurement is, what paper-based procurement have done to this country, many people who may be government actors are intentionally they want to steal government because huge of procurement, government money goes into procurement. But with the coming in of the system, that issue of somebody trying to maybe cut to government will not happen because we'll be interacting with the system. So it's a very important milestone that will be achieved so in our country because it will stand down on corruption, then make everybody who is in the procurement sector to comply with procurement. So that's why we come and say just to let the public and all of the stakeholders to inform them that there is not a system, there's a new day in procurement in that area, and everybody who wants to interact or bid for government contract or have the opportunity to see government contract must utilize the system. It's live, and then that's why we come to it.
Nathan Benko is the communications director at the Public Procurement and Concession Commission. Commenting on the strategy, the executive director of the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, Boji Johnson, explained that the PPCC is providing continuous training to vendors and the business community alike about the new electronic procurement process.
We have a strategy to address it. We are providing continuous training. Okay, we have a training department at the PPCC. There will be continuous training. We are currently training the vendors, business community, for systems Monday to the end of the day. So we have surprisingly first day. The second day to our today we're expecting contribution the following day. So the vendor community they are excited. They want to even pay for the system. They realize that no longer going around town looking for a vendor, who's ministry doing this, and then like there's a government contract. Everything will be put on the website, like you say, on the e-procurement platform. They will have the user ID and password and log in and see everything. The Ministry of Public Works down the street here. You see all the Ministry of Technology for fiscal year 2025, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, LRA, you see all the bookkeeping companies here or the next fiscal year. So our strategy is we develop also a change management plan to bring in those government ministries. The people resist change. These are people that accept this. What we're also doing, those technicians, bookkeeping practitioners at the government up to 6 months at the max. But with 3, they will deploy you to your entity, going back to your entity with a laptop or scan on the printer. So you have no excuse to say, well, I can upload, you can keep it, I don't have a scan.
He is the executive director of the Public Procurement and Construction Commission, Boji Johnson, there speaking earlier on heard the voice of the communications director at PPCC, his Nathan Beku. The officer in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency has alarmed over the historical lack of support to the agency. Christopher Peters said the LDA has suffered lack of logistical and financial supports over the decade, and that is affecting the capacity of the agency to fight drug and substance abuse in the country. Peters noted that the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency has been historically abandoned by central government, and there is a need to change if the government must succeed in the fights to rid Liberia from drug crisis.
I saw men and women in LDA who are willing to work, but also I saw an institution in my mind that has been historically abandoned by central government in terms of the concept for the political. I think we have to change that. We will bring the jobs. We have to pay more attention to it. Not just me, but anybody who goes there. We like the concept for the agency for central government. You'll cry all along the year. So it's good. It's historical. If you look at the budget, look at the support, the attention to the agency. It's historically low. I would term it as an institution that has been compared to last year by some of them. So let's see. This is the first year the president has made some public announcement about paying some attention to that sector because of this has elevated to the national crisis level. So we hope on the 2025 budget, whoever stays ahead, I will ask them that some of the attention be given to the agency in terms of funding it, because we cannot run our public institution on the premise that donors will come. There's some fundamental things as government we have to own some of the basic aspects, and then for some technical intervention, training, capacity, then the partners can come into that. But fundamentally, the government has to own a lot of the work that we do. They hold people down the economic ladder, but they can afford the 200 or 100 different parts. So it's almost very possible. If we do not get this concept for the agency needs, then we will not be capacitated to fight the crisis, the national crisis. We will not succeed in combating or controlling or reducing the impact of drug in the society. So that's a simple answer. So you support the agency, and then you hold the leaders there responsible to deliver. But if you do not support the agency, allow the agency to work with its image, then the expectation for success has to commensurate with the support given. So it's important that government sees this and continue to up the level of support the agency. I mean, LDA need all the money, but again, we have to be realistic. They're competing priorities. But for my own assessment, anything between 7 to 10 billion annually with the agency, I think they will help.
He is the officer in charge of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. He is Christopher Peters, there speaking on the Truth by Fact show on Wednesday. The chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council has threatened unspecified actions against doctors and nurses operating in Liberia without proper medical documents. Dr. Benita Collins Andrew said the Liberia Medical and Dental Council is ready to take drastic actions against any individual that will be found in such act. She said they, as leaders, will not allow individuals who are without proper documents to tarnish the reputation of the entire health sector.
We have reputable persons around the country who are doing their own thing with our people. So because nobody there, we cannot get them. We have difficulty in verifying their signature and other stuff because of the team financial issue. Inadequate funding, capacity building by our staff. We don't have any functional people at present at NFTC. As I mean, at NFTC for the past 1 year or so, I have some funds what I need to do. And then we are not staff. We don't have regional presidents to our intent. So we don't expect to have 15 offices around the country, but at least we have 4 offices in North, South, East, and West. That people can run to and say, oh, somebody can operate on me, and this one happen, that one happen.
She is the officer in charge or the chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council. She's Dr. Benita Collins Andrew there speaking. The Liberian National Commission on Arms has reportedly begun the inspection of storage and security for explosives imported and produced in Liberia. The inspection, according to the Commission, is intended for mining and other commercial purposes. The Commission's chairperson, James Fumoya, said as part of the inspection, a team from the Commission will visit and inspect the storage and security facilities for explosives used by China Union.
They were informal and we studied their facility. And they are manufacturers. Between the components, chemicals, and what else they are manufacturers. They had a stockpile of explosive so heavy. Big there. And then they are supplying other entities like ArcelorMittal, so that you from the one company group in the crushing area, and we don't meet with the end user too. So we not just limited to and they are many. As I say, all is of safety purposes from our standpoint because we need to know where you are storing this explosive, and if we inspect the site, we follow that it's not conclusive, it's not safe, we'll be told right away to make sure that you have facilities that measure of the standard, the international standard. Otherwise, in that central government can shut like this down, to avoid having the life of people with the physical culture, they need to people that they need to do some work there to just have the place that more cleaner than what it is. But in terms of the exploration, which is the most important thing of the explosive, I think there was adequate ventilation, which the storage facility, I can say, was okay, acceptable.
He is the chairman of the Liberia National Commission on Arms, James Fumoya there speaking. The Liberian National Red Cross Society has commenced the Liberia Unified Planning Workshop in Monrovia under the theme Strengthening Partnerships, Aligning Priorities, a Unified Approach for Sustainable Impact. The workshop brings together key partners and stakeholders, including the Swedish Embassy, the National Disaster Management Agency, Environmental Protection Agency, Ministry of Health, and the International Organization on Migration, among others. During the opening section, NRC Secretary General Gregory Bradmore emphasized the significance of the workshop, stating it marks a pivotal movement as they gather to chart a unified course for 2025 and beyond. In order to reduce pre-trial detention in Maswara County, the Liberian National Bar Association has won a one-year grant project for the United Nations Development Program. The one-year project grant is in the tune of $120,000 United States dollars, marking the second grant won by the Liberian National Bar Association. According to the bar's Secretary General, Councillor Bonovama, the LMBA as an integrity institution remains committed to its core values and functions.
The bar played a very critical role in the process. We received funding from UNDP and it was a made intervention. The bar had never done that before. We went through the level of this country to provide education to electoral stakeholders, and that was quite successful. As a result of our intervention as a bar for the first time, you, even as a media practitioner, will agree with me that the complaints that emanated from the electoral process in 2023 were a little bit at a very decreased level. And so we want to do that one. Because of the education nature that we implemented that project, we have won a second grant for UNDP. $101,000 have been given to the bar for a one-year project to reduce pre-trial detention in Montserrat. We are quite happy to announce to members of the bar that the bar is what you call an integrity institution. Be very thankful to use it and help us a couple of years ago to serve the financial system at the bar. And so we are doing some very good work there, A capacity assessment is currently taking place now to see what can be done for unlimited funding. Because there's no way the leadership of the bar can rely on the levies that we impose on our members and the dues that they pay on our members. We have not reached that level. We see where we take it from. Maybe next year or so we'll begin to have that discussion because the bar was established by an act of an agreement legislature in 1907.
He is the National Secretary General of the Liberian National Bar Association, Councillor Bonobama there speaking In another development, the LMPA Secretary General has called on the House of Representatives to turn over the Deputy Chief Clerk who was accused of altering the national budget. Councillor Bono Vama said there is a need for the Deputy Chief Clerk to be investigated and explain reasons behind alleged alteration of the budget.
Even the budget issue is a real issue. You make a budget sign, you can all bring it ahead, they will tell you somebody's going to put a it is criminal. And we think years later will go beyond that point and begin to recommend some personnel. Minister get them a taste of their matter. And then waiting for people to take vote to know whether that's somebody can be put. I mean, it's something that is inconceivable. You know, where are we going in this country? Mr. President must remain unequivocal on its stance on corruption. We will support him. The Minister of Justice must remain unequivocal in investigating and prosecuting people who are implicated in this body reports. The last time I read the central bank that I almost cried.
He is the National Secretary General of the Liberian National Bar Association, Councillor Bondo Vama speaking. The Ministry of National Defense has embarked on the two-day technical capacity building workshop in Monrovia. The workshop is currently ongoing at the Barclay Training Center under the theme Strengthening Defense Governance and Reform Process for Growth and Sustainability. Speaking at the opening of the workshop, Defense Minister Retired General Geraldine George said the reform process is being employed at the ministry to enable quick response to security issues. She's Defense Minister Retired General Geraldine George, there speaking at the start of a two-day technical capacity building workshop in Monrovia. The Liberia Aviation Authority says it is advancing efforts to position Liberia as a key hub for aviation in West Africa. According to the Director General of the LCAA, Julius Dennis, this move will also stimulate economic growth and open new opportunities for Liberia. In continuation's commitment, youth empowerment, APM Terminus Liberia has renewed its partnership or sponsorship for the YMCA Children Vacation Sports Program. This partnership, which began with the company's support of programs, last two editions, has grown in scope each year, allowing more children to benefit from the wide range of activities. Well, folks, this is all the time we have to be with you on today's edition of the program News Desk. But as we take leave of you, a recap of the major developments. President Joseph Boakai arrives to a mammoth crowd of supporters at the Ravos International Airport after attending the Forum on China Africa Cooperation in Beijing, China, to promote efficiency and minimize corruption in government procurement. Public Procurement and Construction Commission announces transition from paper-based to electronic procurement system. Liberians jailed at a maximum security prison in the United Arab Emirates appealed to government of Liberia to intervene into what they called their unlawful arrest and detention, and away from Liberia medical staff on the front line of the battle against mpox in the Democratic Republic of Congo underscored the desperate need for vaccine to curb new infection. We'd love to say many thanks to our writers, contributors, correspondents for making today's edition of the program a success. Maka Devi brought for you the news bulletin, while Kopo Sanga Sarah contributed and produced our sounds. Maya Tobin was behind the camera. We sincerely apologize we couldn't bring you sports or news decks. My name is Johnson Bantoma. I presented Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia are our two sponsors on news decks. Bye-bye.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier? The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll keep your plate alive.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary at 12. My name is Hansen the Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Works connecting those things.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to True FM 96.1.
Ria TV, True
When it comes to communication in Liberia, Orange is number one.
Orange is the best. Orange is the best. Oh, Orange is the best.
Orange is the best.
Strongest network, widest coverage.
Orange is the best.
Fastest internet speed.
Orange is the best.
People, Orange is the best. Yes, Orange is the best. Naratama, please woo. Company Guinea, that's the people that Orange. Top of number one. Swing it.
Company is my Orange. I don't got it best.
Orange will more you the telephone on top.
Reliable, trusted, and dependable.
Orange is about 7. Yeah, Orange is
Orange is the best.
It's all about what matters to you. Orange.